We will be looking at our 7th grade 11-week math review. Day 1, which is Monday, and Day 2, which is Tuesday in this video. Okay. Day 1, the first is this grid where we're converting fractions to decimals and percents. We completed this together in class. From the bottom section that deal with percents, I'm going to do number 1 here. What is 75% of 84? And I will do number 2, 3, 4. What is 75% of 84? We don't have quite enough room here, so I'm going to go over to some scratch paper. What is 75% of 84? Okay, when we have a percent problem, there's 3 pieces of information we deal with. 1 is our whole, 2 is our part, and 3 is our percent. Okay, in this particular problem, quite clearly 75 is the percent. The question is this 84. Is this the part of the whole? Well, of. The word of we know indicates the whole. Okay, so 84 in this case is our whole. So our part is our need to know. Need to know. This is what we're seeking. Alright, let's use the bar model to see if we can solve this problem. One long rectangle divided up into 10 portions. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They should be the same size, but approximately is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each one, since this bar is in whole, in this case our whole is 84. 84. Each one of our sections represent 10%. 10%, 10%, 10%, thusly down the line. All the rest of these 10%. Well, question, what is 10% of 84? 10% of 84 is 8.4. To find 10% is the same as dividing by 10. We simply move the decimal one place to the left. Alright, so in each one of these boxes goes 8.4. 8.4. 8.4. I'm staggering it just for the sake of the way it appears. 8.4 would go in each box. Alright, so we're looking for 75%. That would be 7.5 of these boxes, so let us continue. 8.4, 8.4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more 8.4. That's 7 or 70%. Then we need half of this one. Well, half of 8.4 would be 4.2. 4.2 here and 4.2 on this side. So, in this case, 75% would be 7 bars and then half of another bar. So we would have 7 times 8.4 for our 70% plus half of the other one, which would be 4.2. 7 times this would be 70% and this half would be the 5%. So 8.4 times 7, 28, carry my 2, 56, 58. It's 58.8 plus 4.2. 58.8 plus 4.2. 0, carry my 1, 12, 13, carry my 1 is 63. 75% of 84 is 63. I will make that statement lastly. 75% of 84 is 63. 63. That is the number we're looking for. Lastly, we could directly find this by simply multiplying. We could multiply 84 times the decimal equivalent, which is 0.75. And I will leave that to you, but you will see that it is indeed 63. Okay. That is problem number 1. 75% of 84 is 63. Okay. Number 4 says, what percent of 80 is 35? In this case, I'm going to use our fraction or proportion in order to solve this situation. We see that of indicates the whole, so 80 is my whole, 35 is the part. I can rewrite this as 35 over 80. Of is the whole, 35 is the part. I want to write this as a percent, so percent means per 100. I will write this as x over 100. Right. I simply want to convert 35 over 80 to some fraction over 100. Well, the first thing I can do is some reducing. 5 goes into both 35 into 80. 5 into 35 7 times. 5 goes into 80 16 times. So now I can do my cross multiplication. 7 times 100, 16 times x. 16 times x is equivalent to 16x. 7 times 100 is 700. Now, solving for x, I'll divide by 16 on both sides. X equals 16 into 700. Coming over to this piece of paper to perform that division. 16 divided into 700. 16 into 70, 4 times. 4 times 16 is 64. Subtract 6, bring down my 0. 16 into 60, 3 times. 3 times 16 is 48. Subtract 12. Introduce a 0, bring down that 0. 16 into 120 is 7 times. 70 and 42 is 112. And I'm going to leave it as this, 43.7. It's approximately 43.7. Okay. That is number 4. On to day 2. Day 2, this will be Tuesday. So on day 2, we start off with some fraction problems. Let me do one of those with you. I'm going to do this second one. We have 2 3/4 times 7/8. Well, I don't need a common denominator when I'm multiplying fractions, but I do need to convert these into improper fractions. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11 over 4. 7 over 8 can remain the same. Now, if it's possible, I want to do some reducing. Unfortunately, there is no reduction to be had here. 11 times 7 is 77. 4 times 8 is 32. We have 77 over 32. Now we can reduce or simplify this. 32 will go into 77 2 whole times. 2 times 32 is 64. 64 minus 77 is 13. So it is 2 and 13 over 32. We see that this quotient, this result, is very close to our original because 7/8 is very close to 1. Multiplying any number times 1 will remain the same. This number reduced a little bit, which is what we would expect. 2 3/4 times 7/8, slightly less than 1, would be slightly less than 2 3/4. Right. With that, you should be able to rest of these. Remember, when we're divide, we keep the first fraction the same. We change the divide to a multiply, and we flip over the second fraction. In the case of this 4, write it as 4 over 1, flipping to times a 1/4. Okay. Numbers 1 through 4 ask us to find the constant of proportionality. Remember, the constant of proportionality is K equals y divided by x. Constant of proportionality is K, and we get it by y divided by x. Quite simply, it is some value that we multiply by the x's to get to the y's. Looking at number 2. Pounds of beef jerky is our x, price in dollars is our y. 4 pounds of beef jerky costs 40, 5 pounds costs 50, 3 pounds costs 30. I'm sure you can see to get from x to y, we are simply multiplying by 10. This number 10 is our constant of proportionality. To get it, we simply divide y by x. 40 divided by 4 is 10, 50 divided by 5 is 10. So in this case, the equation y equal kx is y equals 10x, where x is the pounds of beef jerky and y is the price in dollars. For every pound of beef jerky, it costs $10. With that, you should be able to do 1